Can y'all believe it, ladies? Y'all not perfect. Go ahead, tell them I'm everything you needed, baby. Go ahead, tell them I was everything. I was so perfect. I've been perfect since day one. I ain't never did nothing wrong. I'm good. Go ahead.
Bruh.
Welcome
to the J&O Show.
Where we talk about
things that we would never told them. Jay.
And I'm O.
And now you know.
If you guys are new to our channel, please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you turn on those post notifications so you know when we upload, because you never want to miss an episode. Also, if you guys are new here and you have ideas for show topics, go ahead and drop them down below in the comment section and write hashtag next show, so that way we can filter through and give you more of what you want.
What you want. And just to let you guys know, this is a channel by married people, for married people, and people who want to be married.
Yes. Anywho, today guys, we're actually going to be reacting to a video by No Jumper Clips, and it's entitled Kevin Samuels on Interracial Relationships.
This ought to be interesting to see what the late Kevin Samuels has to say about interracial relationships.
Yes.
What I can see from the data is 80+% of people are date inside their group. Me personally, I've dated everything. I say make yourself the best version of yourself and pick from the best you have available. Because at the end of the day, we're all human, but most people want their group.
Right.
See, what I think the disconnect comes when you feel like you're having to pick from lesser options, but that's a function of you. Like you said, if you make yourself the top choice or become the best version of you, and you can say, and know not what you want, but know what you need. That's a difference. Know what you need and then pick for that and outcomes, not for short term.
Ooh.
I like that.
He dropped a lot there, man. Wow. Did you want to start?
The last thing the second to last thing he just said, as far as, dang, what did he say? He said pick it for what you need and not what you want.
Pick for long term instead of short term.
Yes, and I think that's so key, because that's not, people don't think that way.
No, they don't.
In general, I don't think that comes with wisdom. And once you know, been around the world and now, I can't find my baby. Yeah, that song. But I think that a lot of times people don't necessarily, they don't have that foresight to know that you should be looking for what you need and not what you want, because what you want might be like what they say, like he got to be 6 foot, 6 figures, 6 inches, all, you know what I'm saying, all this other kind of stuff, and it's just like, okay, that's what you want, but is that what you really need?
Yep.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's actually a great way to put it.
So it's just like, I mean, not saying, and that was the first thing that I could think of as far as like the physical appearance and everything like that. But, and not saying that you shouldn't be attracted to the person that you're with, because I think you should be. So you should look for someone who has certain characteristics, but I think it should be, like he said, what you need. Like if you know that you're a person, if you're looking for a life partner, and you know, for example, that you're terrible with money, you're like one of the type of people that just like your impulse, like you do everything on impulse. You need somebody that's going to help to rein you in.
True.
You don't need somebody that's exactly like you,
right,
in that regard, because then y'all gonna be broke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like you're not and
it won't matter how much money you make, you're always going to be broke.
Exactly. So you want to find somebody that's going to compliment you. They're basically going to fill in those gaps, those places that you're missing. The other person should be filling that in.
He said a lot of stuff in there. One of the things he said is 80% of the people, and I did see the statistic as well, 80% of the people roughly date within their race, and that's amongst all people. So that's across the board, including African Americans. Okay, so the idea that African American men get to a certain place and then they want to leave their race and stuff like that, a lot of times, or even women want to leave their race, a lot of times it's about who's in your vicinity and what you're willing to tolerate.
It's true.
And those are the two things. And the thing is, especially when you get older and you get a certain amount of success, a lot of that wisdom starts to come in because you see things in a different thing. Like if you have purpose as your number one, it automatically starts to make you make slightly wiser decisions because everything is built around your purpose.
You have a center.
You have a center of focus, and everything has to fit within that picture. So certain things are going to get swayed off. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. When I was dating, I was very, very fortunate. A lot of the women that I were around were of a certain level of character where I didn't have to worry about certain things that a lot of people have to worry about in the dating market right now. Also, because of the certain things that I was going through, I was sort of weeding out characteristics that I didn't want based on the experiences that I was having. So, because I experienced having somebody cheat on me, the next girl that I got with, I was thinking about she had to be honest and she had to have a certain level of innocence with her.
Right.
Because I had dated somebody and, they like left the state.
Bruh.
I had to make sure that in my next relationship, I wouldn't be put in a position where the
what
person.
You trying to say?
I'm just saying that, it didn't make no sense for us to go and get together for 2 months and then you left that because we knew we was leaving. That's what don't sound kidding. But it obviously worked out. But, I knew that I wouldn't do long distance relationships because we did try long distance for a few months. And I was like negative. I was completely unfulfilled and I missed you. So it was like there were no positives to it for me. So I was like, I can't do long distance. Dated somebody who was much younger than me. And because of that situation, I was like, okay, they have to be within a certain age range. And I started to narrow down. But a lot of that stuff, I'm going to be honest with you, it wasn't like I sat down and I thought. I just instinctually was like, yeah, I don't want to get hurt like that again. So I can't get that again.
Right.
It wasn't like I planned out, you know what I'm saying, like that. And when you're at that age that most people are getting married, which is usually between the mid-20s and the early to mid-30s, most people get married. And that wisdom is not really on your plate.
Yeah, not true. But that's why I think it's good for you to be dating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that way you can get these things.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that.
Right.
You don't have wisdom yet
Right.
really to draw from unless you are very blessed and fortunate and you're around people who are really pouring into you that information from young.
Who you are around is very important.
Yes, like if you have that and they're an influence over your life and they're kind of, they're giving you game before you even ready for it so that by the time you get there, you're like, oh, okay, and you go basically down that path. But if you're not doing that, I think that it's important for you to date so that you can figure out what you want and what you don't want.
Agreed. 100%.
Weed those things out.
Yeah, so he said a bunch of things in there. Dating for what you need. Also, about people with lists of things that they want in their mate. A lot of some of y'all got some ridiculous lists. Some of y'all have lists of people who don't exist. Y'all have lists that are so complex that you don't even match all the things on the list. You're not even a compliment to the person that you have on your list. And that's for guys too. I've seen many guys walking around talking about something. These women ain't worth nothing. I don't see no women that's no good. And it's like, okay, so what do you want? And then if they'll sit down and tell you about the type of woman they want, I'm like, dude, you would run her away.
Run.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, she wouldn't even want to be with you.
Yeah.
Because you're not a compliment to what it is you want. So when he was talking about what you need, and that was one of the things with our situation that I think was really there. We sort of fulfilled what we needed in each other. Not everything we wanted. I guarantee you I'm not everything that she wanted. She's definitely not everything that I wanted. In certain ways, I had to give up certain things. Yeah, I know. Can y'all believe it, ladies? Y'all not perfect. Y'all ain't everybody. The only thing that y'all got on y'all plate that evens everything out is the fact that the Walls, their record is so stinking phenomenal. It just knocked people out. It just knocked people out. You just be sitting there loopy and you don't know what you're doing. And you like, you know what? It'll work. That's what happens. That's what happens because they undefeated. You know what I'm saying? That makes up a whole lot of ground. You know what I'm saying? But I got everything I needed. And I didn't even know that I got everything I needed. I didn't know that.
Bruh.
Stop trying to front like you ain't in the same position. Like, go ahead, tell them I'm everything you needed, baby. Go ahead, tell them I was everything. I was so perfect. I've been perfect since day one. I ain't never done nothing wrong. I'm good. Go ahead.
Bruh.
Tell them that. Can you tell them that? Mm-mm. But you gonna see, that does not exist, y'all. It don't exist, and you ain't that either. Stop asking people to do things and be things that you aren't. You're not there. None of us are. Everybody has a blind spot. And if you walking around thinking that you so good and you so this, that, and the third, and the problem is men or the problem is women, you crazy.
See, what I think the disconnect comes when you feel like you're having to pick from lesser options, but that's a function of you. You.
You crazy.
You need to go get yourself checked.
You need some therapy.
Yes.
You need whatever happened to you. And a lot of times that is because you got hurt and you never got over it.
Yep.
Never got over it. A lot of the red pill incels, because there's red pill mentality, which I agree with a lot of it. And then there's red pill incel. That are people just brand them as misogynistic. But a lot of it is they just crazy.
Yeah.
They just hurt people. You know, and just like if you're on the other side, if you're like crazy feminist, because there's what feminism really is, and then there's what crazy people make it.
Right.
Not the same. They're the same stinking person. I've been hurt, something happened to me, and I blame all men or I blame all women. If you have that mentality, something is already wrong with you.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't have nobody that matches your list, because you're not the complement to the list.
Nope. And the best thing to do, let's go get yourself some help.
Yep.
Seriously, because we have to work on being the best versions of ourselves.
Right. He said that in the thing too. That's why I say he dropped a lot.
Oh yeah, true. We have to work on being the best version of ourselves for us, for our future children, if we want to have children.
Yep. Let me tell you. I'm sorry. I know. Hold your thought. Hold your thought. And I want to make that thing very clear. All right. Children are not about you.
Yep.
Yes.
So, because children are not about you, you got to deal with you all the time when you have kids.
Yes.
You're constantly putting yourself through therapy. And if you can afford it, go get real therapy, because that'll help your kids too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Okay.
No, seriously, like you can't. There's a lot of people out there that feel as though, like, because they haven't had good outcomes in the dating market and they want to have kids, they'll be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go have kids.
Oh, it's a lot of people
by
that's on
myself.
that. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Right.
If you're not having success out in the dating market and you go and you bring a child into your world by your lonesome, what do you think you're going to instill in them? How are they going to be successful in the dating market? Are you looking for them to basically be by themselves? What if they want to have a family and they want to have kids? Like you have to, like Jay just said, and like Kevin Samuels just said, it's not about you. You have to work on being the best version of yourself, so that way you can pass down that goodness to your children and your children's children. They can pass that down. But if you don't, if you just pass down brokenness, because that's what it is, we're broken, you just passing on that brokenness to your child. They may grow up to be a phenomenal individual to a certain extent,
Right.
but best believe that there's going to be a lot of gaps in their life because they only basically grew up with one side. It's like you can't expect a person to be whole if they only grew up with a half.
Right.
They don't know what the other side looks like.
Right.
So how do you expect them to be a whole individual if they were only raised up with half?
Right. So,
Anyway, I digress. I see the video's getting long. I didn't know if you wanted to
I wasn't gonna go back in. We only needed Kevin gave us a whole video worth of stuff to feast on, and he ain't even talked a minute. So that was good enough. We're just gonna move on. Maybe we'll come back to it at another time.
Yeah.
And talk about it, because I'm pretty sure. I mean, dang, he got another 9 minutes to go. So I'm assuming that he got something else good in there. So that was good enough for this time. All right, guys, J&O Show, we out.
Yes.
Please.
Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Okay, we still on the road to 500, month of May, month of June.
Yes.
Okay, we're trying to get 500 subscribers. So
Yes.
if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, what are you doing?
Right.
Hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
Pass it along.
Yes.
Tell them to subscribe too.
Yes.
Because most of y'all who watching ain't subscribed. I see it. I see y'all. Okay.
Plate now. How you gonna be in the congregation? You one of the people that sit up in your pew and you don't give nothing. You don't even get. You can at least get 25 cents and put it in the plate, man. At least, I mean, you know, a little like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bing.
That's ridiculous.
Bing. Okay. That's your contribution
We just.
to the family. Just subscribe or hit the like button. Okay. All right. But that's all. We hope you guys enjoyed. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate each and every one of you. Oh, wanted to also give a shout out to one of our other subscribers that have been rocking with us for a while. We forgot to mention in a video that we did
a few weeks ago, probably.
Probably a few weeks ago by the time you see this, but want to shout out Chelsea White. Thank you for being one of our OGs.
She also dropped books for us.
Yes. You and Miss Soil. Always putting books, but we appreciate you guys.
That, man. I'm saying.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And yeah, go ahead, hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Tune in next time. Don't know when, but just keep those post notifications on. All right. Besides Friday and Wednesday, we don't know when else. All right. Sorry. Deuces.
Press the off button.